Are you ready to try Lost Ark's first Legion raid? If you've heard that these raids are the most amazing thing about the game, then you definitely won't be disappointed. Things really do start to get serious from here on out, and we are going to help you prepare so you can see it through to the end. When it comes to battle items, we recommend you slot your best healing potions, Panacea to cleanse the bleed, and whirlwind bombs to successfully perform the stagger checks in this encounter. Pro tip, if you can bring a paladin or a gun lancer with cleanse in each party, it greatly helps with the wipe mechanic too. One thing you can do personally is to get the Purify rune from Ignia token reward number 5 and equip it on your spammable skill. Now the flow of the fight is simple and easy to understand because in Legion raids you can see the boss's HP, and stages are broken down by them. You start by fighting the Purple Wolf. At X45 the boss teleports to the centre and splits, leaving you to fight the Red Wolf. This is the nasty one with the bleeds. X40 the Blue Wolf will invade. X30 is an orb stagger check. This is a wipe mechanic after which you will fight the Blue Wolf. X25 the Red Wolf invades too. And X15 is another orb stagger check wipe mechanic after which you fight the Purple Wolf until the end. During the fight though, you'll be able to summon one of 3 champions to aid you. First off is Wei. This gives you damage and stagger, which is the one we care about the most. Tyrain provides the most damage and destruction, and Balthor gives a defensive ability to protect the party. Now let's talk about the most important mechanic in the whole fight, the orb phase, which happens at X30 and X15. The wolf will teleport to the centre of the arena and begin channeling an instant wipe attack. Here you will need to stagger him, but you'll also have to deal with several blue and red orbs that spawn and home in on the closest player. If a player grabs 2 orbs, it's a wipe. If orbs are grabbed in the wrong order, you'll wipe too. And if the boss gets hit by an orb as well, you wipe. To pass this mechanic, there are 2 ways. First off is the most traditional or real way, which is everybody lines up in a clock formation with the best stagger classes starting at 1 o'clock. Make sure there's enough space between the players so the orbs follow different people. In sequence, each player that grabs their orb calls for the next person to do the same, runs to the boss, throws a whirlwind bomb, and performs all their stagger moves. The cheese way is that all players except the party leader go to the far south of the map. All of those orbs will home in on the party leader who will summon Wei on the boss and kite the orbs. As soon as he summons Wei to stagger, the rest of the team runs up and performs their own stagger to finish the stagger check. In terms of those wolves, the red is the nastier of the 2, because of the bleed debuff that he applies when he hits you. On the 3rd stack, you're going to take massive damage and explode in a straight line, damaging everybody in that path. You should do everything in your power to cleanse this, things like Panacea and Purify, and you want to do this once it reaches 2 stacks as the damage can be deadly to your team, especially if you're on hard mode. The other unique mechanic to watch out for on the Red Wolf is when he turns into a tornado, trapping everybody in an AoE prison of red wind. He spins towards his prey whilst being invulnerable, so make sure you dodge or teleport out of that circle as soon as you can. The Blue Wolf is a lot easier to deal with, but is no pushover because he can do a surprising amount of damage quickly if you're lazy. The main thing to watch out for here is his ice explosions. His hand will glow blue and he will throw projectiles on the ground that explode into 6 ice darts. If these hit you, you're going to be frozen and vulnerable to his follow-up attacks. In addition, he also has many attacks that are AoE that are highlighted on the ground. Make sure you keep an eye out and dodge as many of those as you can as they do deal some heavy damage. At X40 and X25 the wolf you're not fighting will invade, making it so that you have to fight both of them at the same time. The catch is though that they take no damage if they're next to each other, so you and your team need to agree on a strategy for splitting them up. One person will have a red mark and one will have a blue mark on their head. Each of these will be responsible for taking them to the agreed position, and we recommend keeping it consistent. Blue south and red north is a good example. 3 other players in the group will have a gold orb buff, which means they can damage the invader, blue at X40 and red at X25, so they need to go to the designated spot and fight the invading wolf. One final key mechanic during the home stretch of the last 15 bars is that the purple wolf will teleport to the farthest member of the team, freezing them in fear. Soon after, a stagger bar will show up, and if the rest of the team doesn't break that stagger, then the feared player will take humongous damage. This is fairly easy to deal with though. Have the feared player spam ping and your team has plenty of time to get there and help. We recommend lining up behind the boss so if the stagger fails, only the feared player will get hurt. If you do fail this check twice though, the party will wipe. It happens sometimes when too many people are dead at the end and you can't beat the stagger check, so don't sweat it. There is a lot going on in this fight, and you're going to have to learn by watching those wolves. We won't burden you with all of it, but here are the main things to watch out for that both wolves can do. The first is an explosion channel where they freeze in their place and pop explosions on the ground for 5 to 10 seconds. You can see these explosions manifest and have plenty of time to dodge them. This is a great time to DPS, but just don't get too greedy. And then you've got front multi-claw strike. The wolf channels a cone of damage in front of them and strikes repeatedly. It's pretty easy to dodge, but it really does hurt if you don't. Dodge it and then do big damage since they're going to be locked in that animation. That should give you everything that you need to know when it comes to Lost Ark's first Legion raid. We wish you the best of luck and have fun.